Hello, this is Crypto CJ. Welcome to today's trade of the day. This is a Friday afternoon Zoom edition. We're going to focus on Altcoin Alert and what we can do with that software to make profitable trades. And the first thing we're going to do, we usually look at Bitcoin, but instead, I'm going to share my screen. We'll look at a tweet. Here we go. So hands up if you can see the Elon Musk tweet. All right. So here's what he posted last night around, I think, 5 or 6 p.m. Pacific. I know I said it would be over between us if you quoted another Linkin Park song, but I found someone else and him. So in the end, it didn't even matter. And actually, this would be more useful above if you saw the Bitcoin and a heartbreaking. So yeah, here it is over here. So he's got hashtag Bitcoin with the Bitcoin logo and a heartbreaking. So I think this is to show that he prefers Doge over Bitcoin. And after he posted this, the market dropped Bitcoin dropped about 5%. And I was in a Matic long leverage token, or not leverage token, actual leverage trade, and it dropped about 10%. So I wasn't happy with that. And then finally, they've bastardized my favorite Linkin Park song too. So I'm really not happy with Elon right now. But there's a bunch of comments here, some, kind of obnoxious, some supportive. And, it's a little frustrating how easily manipulated, Bitcoin can be. And that's something we have to be aware of as traders. Sometimes we can take advantage of it, but in this case, it knocked down my trade. On the plus side, did create some dip opportunities that I took advantage of a little later in the evening. I hardly traded at all yesterday because the market was so dead. And then once he did this, it created some dips and those worked out for me, but I'm still stuck in Matic and XRP. I bought those dips and they didn't quite pan out the way I'd hoped. I just missed my exit point overnight. And today they've just been going sideways and they're still down a little bit. But anyway, anything to add about the Elon Musk tweet or anything on the manipulation of Bitcoin in our markets? Okay. I'm gonna go over to my Bitcoin chart then. And this is the day chart. I've made an adjustment to my wedge here to account for this grouping. I had this, up around here for quite a while, and to move it down here to account for how it's been moving lately. So it's pretty wide range between 34 and 65. So that's about a 50% range probably. And I talked a little bit about this on Monday, but the market didn't quite do what I was hoping it was going to do. Not necessarily hoping, but anticipating would be a better way to say it. I was looking for a move up here around 41.8, and I was going to sell some of my non-performing coins and then take that cash and buy back in down here. Well, the closest it got was about here, a little over 40 on a couple nights ago, nearly a week ago, but it never got to my sell zone. So that strategy, it's still in play. I'm still hoping for an increase up here in the next few days, maybe a week. And then, usually if you get a big pump, there's going to be a retrace of some kind. And on that retrace, I'll buy back in. So that's how I'm looking at, Bitcoin and the overall market. Any questions on Bitcoin? Anything to add on that? All right, then let's go to Altcoin Alert. And there's one more thing I want to talk about. There was a significant development, or SIGDEV, on NuCypher, NU, and I whiffed on this. Yeah, let's look at that. See if I have it handy. Yeah. So let's look at that SIGDEV. And you guys seeing this okay? Significant developments? All right, good. So here's what came in last night, 7:28 p.m. Binance will list new cipher, NU. And we've talked about this a lot in that, you know, there's a lot of new coin listings on the Altcoin Alert Slack group, but the ones that really move the meter are Binance International, not Binance US, and Coinbase Pro. And where I've had some success is since I trade on Binance, if there's a new Coinbase Pro listing, I can often find that coin on Binance, but this is the reverse. This is a coin that's on Coinbase Pro, which I totally forgot about, and is new to Binance. And then I remembered, like in the 8 o'clock hour, that oh, this is on Coinbase Pro. I could have traded this, and then I thought I didn't have any money on it. And then I remembered I do have some Litecoin on Coinbase Pro that I'm trying to sell for cash, but I made that sell order just before the dump on the 19th, so it's kind of hung in limbo for a while. But I could have sold that Litecoin, taken a loss, and then put that into new cipher. And the reason I bring this up is because I'll show you this chart. What often happens with these SIG devs is you get the pump that it's kind of frustrating because it seems like we're too late for it, but it usually goes up some more. Not as much as this, but when we got the SIG dev was right about 728. So right in this range here is when it kind of flew across our screen on Slack. So, you know, had I been really on the ball, I probably could have got in right about here and picked up, you know, 7%, or held it for a while, because what often happens is you get this pump, it drops, and then it tends to pump again on the larger exchanges, both Bitcoin and Coinbase Pro, and I'd forgotten about that. So I figure if I talk about it on a recorded video, I'm more likely to remember, and let you guys know too that there's usually at least two pumps, sometimes three. I mean, here we got this pump here, a drop, another one not quite as high as the first, and then the third one that went you know, higher than the first. So the point is, don't discount these new listings on Coinbase Pro and Binance if you don't get in on the first wave. So all right, so we'll go over to Altcoin Alert now. Oh, any questions on the SIG devs and the new listings? All right. Well, this is just delightful to me because these are all 5 coins that I have traded even fairly recently. So I'm in Matic now, like I said. I've traded Filecoin a few weeks ago. RLC I've been in and out of this week and last. Zen, I've traded that before, and well, this one just crept in. So let's see, what was it before? Don't freeze on me. All right. So it was yeah, it was Doge, and then this ETN moved up. So BAT, AVAX, these are all coins I've traded. So I'm glad to see some of the larger coins make their way into the top 5. Let's go ahead and look at Matic. I had that here, now it's gone. Oh, I put new there. All right, so this is what I was talking about last night when the tweet came right around here, and then it just fell like a rock. But came back pretty quickly, so I felt, oh, this is going to recover. And then I bought in, and I set my sell order at just below 175, and it hit 173.9. So, and then didn't go back. So I'm still stuck in that over. Yeah, so hopefully it'll come back around this area, and I'll be out of that. But for now, Most of the coins look like this on Friday afternoons anyway. It's just a squeeze. Not really sure where it's going to go. I've been using the Stochastic RSI more on short time frames. I've had some success on the 3-minute chart, catching across here and riding it up to the SMA line. So if this were, you know, lunchtime, you could probably do that here. I prefer to catch it on the bottom Bollinger Band. The same strategy can work here. I would probably want to catch it above the SMA line because this is sort of no man's land, as I talked about many times, the SMA line. So if this creeps up a little bit more, pick up maybe a quick 1%. And if you're on leverage, like I have been lately, I've been using 5% or 5x leverage, then yeah, that's a decent trade just to get 1%. And then I feel a little bit bad because during the CryptNation Lifer call yesterday, a nice lady named Nikki was asking about trades, and I said, well, my most recent swing trades are, and Matic was one of them from yesterday. Not the same as this trade, but and then an hour after I said that, Elon made his tweet, and Matic dropped about 10-15% in 5 minutes. So, but it's mostly come back from that. So I still like Matic. Some people are saying it's overbought right now. We can look at this in a little more detail. I mean, in the big picture, as of a few days ago, it was all the way up to 244. It mostly recovered. The high was 272 before the dump on the 19th. It had mostly recovered, but then went into a down pattern again. So I don't know how soon it's going to be before it gets to this level, but I think it's reasonable to see it come up to to this resistance here, right around 180, 185. So that's how I see Matic playing out. All right, any questions on Matic?
So you're just gonna hang on to it?
Well, I've got 2 trades. I've got my current leverage trade, which I'm trying to get out right around here, around 175, just below that. So I've got a stop loss set at 150, whichever comes first. And then I've got the swing trade that I made yesterday. So that one I'm hoping to get around 1.8 to about 185. Yeah, so that's how I'm treating those 2 trades. Not sure what's going to happen this weekend. Volume drops, and that's usually not good for building a position, but it can be good for an entry point. So I might, double up on the Matic or one of the other trades I'm in if it drops some, kind of like ladder buying in. But again, this is Altcoin Alert. We're more focused on day trades, and even as squeezy as this is, this might be a decent. We have support right around here. That would be a pretty good entry point, around 156. That did hold twice, so my stop loss was not triggered on my leverage trade. So that seems to be pretty solid at the moment. All right, let's see what else we have. Filecoin has been on a tear. It really pumped up in the wee hours yesterday. Wasn't much affected by the tweet, but it did drop a little bit later that night. It's kind of gone sideways since then. Altcoin Alert likes it on the 5-minute chart now. If you have a single dip here, could go into a second dip. If it goes into a dip sequence like this, You know, with 3 dips below the lower Bollinger Band, that could be a good entry point. We've got some resistance or support right about here at you know, 85 cents or $85. So that would be maybe a good place to put in a low buy order and catch it back up to, you know, this area here for 5 or 6%. Okay, any questions or thoughts on Filecoin?
I've been looking at 4-hour charts, and the high for that was like $200. So these guys have fallen an awful lot.
Yeah, I remember that from, let's look at the day chart. I remember 240 in early April, because I tried to do a quick day trade in this range here and got stuck in it and didn't work out. So, and I'm not sure what this coin does either. File, what's it do? It files stuff? I mean, who cares? So it's another thing I wonder about. But yeah, so but you know, ride the trend or catch a dip and in a current trend and ride it back. And you know, I'm not always all that concerned about exactly what the coins do if I'm trading them short term. So I mean, I think Doge is, you know, it's a joke or a meme coin, but I'll trade it if there's a good indication to do so. Just won't be holding it for any length of time. All right. Let's see. So we looked at Matic and Filecoin. Let's look at RLC. I think I did a video on this earlier in the week. I've also picked up like 1% a couple times here on some 5x leverage. So kind of liking this one. Super squeezy right now. And for anyone new, what I mean by squeezy is there's just not much room between the top and the bottom Bollinger Band. It's only 3%. So, you know, what we want to see is more these bubbles. This is where the volume's increased and it looks like the coin has room to move. So if you can catch this low, that might be a play to make. Or you could, it's a little riskier, but you could go with your stochastic RSI if the blue line crosses here. And you can catch it on the Bollinger Band or just below or above the SMA line. You could get a quick 1.3%. So I should have looked at the day chart first. Yeah, it had a big spike here earlier in May and got dumped on hard and hasn't really recovered very well. And its loss is 81%, about 70%. So it's got a long way to go to get back to where it was. But again, on a short-term trade, if the chart looks good, we're certainly willing to jump in to get a couple percent. And if you're spot trading, you know, if you want to try to get closer to, you know, 3 to 5%, I'd probably wait for a dip sequence on this one. And you can always set the an alert in the RSI, so you can see when it drops below 30. That's usually indicative of a dip sequence. Like we've got 2 drops here below 30, and there's a couple dips. So it's kind of a fake out because you think it's going back up and it dips again. So that's the downside of this strategy. In that scenario, you probably just make another purchase, do a ladder buy on the second dip, have 2 positions going up, and then get out at or slightly above where your first purchase was. So that's how I like to handle ladder buying in these situations. And I've done multiple videos on that if you want to explore that strategy further. So any questions on RLC? All right. That's the top 3 on the AA score. I've also been sorting based on the Elder Impulse. I find I usually have to reload first. I wonder if having these indicators is taxing the system. But I mean, it's not that hard to do, but still. So I've got a few bullish ones. We talked about Matic already. T-Fuel is bullish. Fire, bullish on both the Elder Impulse hourly and the day. And Theta and T-Fuel had a nice run earlier in the week, but it slowed down some. Actually, I haven't looked at it today, so let's check it out. Okay, had a nice run up early this morning. It's tapering off. Let's get the bigger picture. Day charts. Let's look at the hour. Yeah, actually the day, that's what I was remembering, had a big run up in late March. And then it almost come back. Yeah, it's recovered about 80% of that. I don't think it was as damaged as some of the others during the May 19th dump. So it's been coming back pretty strong. Dump 1 on the 19th, dump 2 on the 23rd. And Theta and T-Fuel tend to run together. You know, T-Fuel is Theta fuel, so. Now we already hit the top of the Bollinger Band here, so doing anything at this point would be risky. If it bounces off the SMA line, it could head back. That would be a one to look at. That's a, I don't know, hour chart, dadgummit. All right, so yeah, we had a nice bubble here this morning, and now it's in a squeeze. We've got about 5% between the Bollinger Bands, not too bad. But I don't see a trade here at the moment. Yeah, I just don't know what to do with this. Maybe put an alert down here. Seem to have support at, you know, a little above 35 cents. That would be a nice run up. Maybe this resistance here, that's 15%. So that'd probably take a couple days, but that could be a good multiple day / swing trade. So I like T-Fuel. I just don't see an entry point at the moment. And let's do a trading activity sort. So I was doing these quite a bit 5 or 6 months ago before they improved the AA scores. And my goal then was to get, you know, a good reading on trading activity, a thumbs up or fire, neutral or better on the AA score, and then usually 5% or higher on the upper range of the 1 hour projection. So T-Fuel, you know, meets all that criteria. We just looked at that. We have the Elder Impulse now, so I'm going to take that into consideration with this sort. Theta is going to be similar to T-Fuel, but you know, that's another one to look at. All these numbers look good for Theta. And that's about all I see. That would interest me out of that sort. All right, well, that's about all I have for the you know, proactive portion of the show. Do you have any questions on what we talked about with Altcoin Alert? Okay.
Yeah. I've never dealt with Dogecoin. Just
okay.
psychologically, I don't want to. I see you have a tab open.
Yeah.
But I've noticed it started showing up in the AA stuff. Sometimes it's up at the top. So then I'm thinking, well, maybe I should be looking at it for short-term, day trading. But psychologically, I just have like an aversion to it. So why's your tab there?
I cannot criticize you on that. I have it there because, I saw it in Altcoin Alert earlier, maybe a day or two ago, and I just never deleted the tab. But it's, it's got a 90+ score.
I know.
And
well, and the Altcoin Alert is supposedly taking our emotions out of it. I mean, it's just data. They're just reading
right.
what's going on. So it can overcome your reluctance to even consider this. But go where the money is.
Yeah. And the funny thing about Elon's tweet is that it wrecked Doge too last night, at least for a while. Let's see, where was it? Yeah, right around here. No, wait, that's not, was it here? It was somewhere in this vicinity, but you can see it's going down. And
well, my perception, and this could be wrong, is that people who are buying Doge are not the smart money, it's the dumb money. It's the people who don't know anything else.
yeah,
They're buying Doge on Robinhood,
right.
And so I try not to like consider it too much, but I can't figure it out. I don't know.
I've traded it a couple times. I think at this point I've lost more than I've made from it. So it doesn't seem to like me. But yeah.
Well, if you're
I'll
doing
look at
all
it.
if you're doing all the rational stuff that we have learned from, CryptNation or your other like Coin Pro or whatever,
Mhm.
we learn all this stuff, and then Doge comes in, and it's like irrational as opposed to rational buying. So all the stuff that we've learned doesn't apply to it particularly. But I don't know. I don't know if there's a way to figure it out or to take advantage of it, but it just annoys me that it's even there.
Yeah, and it's a meme coin, and you really can't. There's only so much you can teach about news. So, and news tends to move it. So that's
Yeah.
why I sort of keep it around in case, there's some news or a trader I respect is saying, this chart means this should do something, but I don't proactively look at it very often. Sort of a
Well, your
coincidence I have
friends
it up. But
in South Africa actually said they were going to.
yes,
What's his name? Sheldon the Sniper
Sheldon the Sniper
said he was going to like throw in the towel and buy a little bag of Doge.
I know, because he feels about it the same way you do, probably. But what John's talking about is Sheldon the Sniper, one of the co-hosts of the Crypto Banter show that originates in South Africa. But there's a lot of, we all watch people we like and respect, and he teaches really good technical analysis. He likes, I forgot the word for it. He likes teaching these trend lines, which I really haven't used much.
Bring up theta, CJ.
Okay.
1 hour chart.
Well, John, were we done with Doge?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I've vented. I'm done with Doge.
We're done with Doge.
I call it doggy.
Doggy. Go woofer. All right, 1 hour on theta. What's up, Patrick?
Yeah. Well, it took me a long time to be able to buy the sucker. And when I got it, it went up and up and up, and it looks like it's doing it again.
Yeah, I like theta. I mean, we looked at T-Fuel a little while ago, and they're related, and theta was rated slightly below T-Fuel on an Altcoin Alert. But yeah, I like the project a lot. I've got a swing trade in it. Unfortunately, I made it before the dump, but it's recovered better than a lot of the other coins have. So instead of being 50 or 60% down, I'm about 20% down. So on my swing trade, and then I haven't leverage traded it yet, but I probably will, maybe this weekend. On the 5-minute chart, yeah, it's squeezing like the rest. So you know.
Well, it went up 80% in the last 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, good stuff.
Take some
So
profit.
definitely.
I think things are coming back, but as you pointed out previously, the weekends always see bad for the crypto market. Tuesdays to Thursdays look to be the best.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually learned that when I first started training, and that because we used to have a meeting like this with my first trainer on Monday through Thursday, and he hated the Monday morning meetings because he could never find trades because it was too slow. And I was thinking, seems like Mondays would be busy, but not necessarily. All right. Any other questions or issues? Okay, I will open it to anything in crypto that you guys want to talk about.
You hear me, CJ?
I hear, yeah, who is that?
It's Steve.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah, I was having issues with my mic earlier, but I figured it out. How about that Open Alexa email that you sent?
Yeah, what Steve's talking about is a new token. I don't think it's appropriate to talk about on this show during the recording, but if you want to hang around after, I'll definitely talk about it. You know, I'm reluctant to do any kind of salesy stuff during these kind
That's
of
fine.
presentations, but thanks for bringing that up, and we'll talk about it after the recording. So,
Okay.
all right. So, anything else in crypto and in trading and coin evaluation? Any coins to look at?
Did you look at VET earlier?
No, but I traded that yesterday. I like that.
I got into that this morning and I'm up on it.
Cool. So on the 1 hour, it dropped down here to below 10 cents. It's been pumping. Then we had the drop yesterday, and anyway, and it seems to be coming back from that. So it looks good on the hour chart, and on this chart. Sorry, I was distracted. My daughter's called me twice. Totally out of character for her. So I might have to cut this short. Okay, so yeah, again, I don't see an entry here. It's kind of squeezy like the others we've looked at, but this is definitely one to keep an eye on. It's been really moving this last week or so, and I've had some success with it. Sounds like Steve has as well. So liking that. It's kind of like Ethereum and Matic and some of the others that have some practical use. You know, this moves information for businesses, hospitals, things like that. I like it when I buy more interested in that for a longer term hold, a swing trade, but you know, it helps sometimes push the needle on a decision whether to make a day trade or not. You know, if I get stuck in a spot trade, then I'm not that worried about it. I can hold it for a couple of weeks and be pretty confident it'll come back. So I'm not cavalier about it, but you know, I'm more likely to take a chance on VET than Doge. So, all right. Any other questions? Okay, I'm going to end the recording here.